Today we're going to be working on my forge burner. The current one I have is extremely noisy and you can barely hear anything I say unless I scream and yell at you. And you're not one of my dogs or one of my kids, so I'm not going to yell at you. So what we have in front of me here are the parts that we're going to use to assemble this. I'm going to go through those really quick, and if you have a piece of paper and a pen, write these down. You can follow along and build one just like it, and we'll test it out here in a little bit and see how it works. So first off, what we have here is a 3/8 end cap. Alright, and what we've done with that also, if you can tell, there's a very tiny hole drilled in there. That's where our pressurized gas is going to come out of. Alright, behind that, you can make this any length you want, as long as it sticks up out of the T. This one is a 6-inch 3/8 nipple. Okay. This is just a copper fitting to go around it, and you'll see what that's for here in just a moment. We've got a 1-inch T, and through the top of that 1-inch T you can see I've drilled a 3/4 inch hole, and that's so this fits through there. Okay. I also have a 1-inch to 3/4 inch reducer, which will go onto this piece of 8-inch 3/4 inch nipple. Then I've got a 3/4 to 1-inch adapter, which goes onto a 1-inch long, 1-inch wide nipple. This is for the way my forge is built. I've got a bottom flange, and this will screw into the top of my forge, and then everything will connect into it. This apparatus is what brings my propane in. Okay, you can see I've got two 3/8 inch 90-degree elbows. I've got two 1-foot 3/8 inch nipples. I've got one 3/8 inch coupler. All they had was galvanized. I soaked this thing in vinegar overnight to pull the zinc off of it. That is a must. I've also got a 1-inch nipple here. This is not necessary. I'm just using it because this puts me a little bit further down past the flame. And then I've got my 3/8 inch quick connect coupler for my gas line. Alright, and now a quick rundown of how all this is going to go together. Alright, so our end cap, we've drilled that 1mm hole. Lowe's does not have a 1mm. Lowe's does not have a 1mm drill bit. I got it. Alright, Harbor Freight does. Harbor Freight has got a big pack of bulk drill bits all the way from a 0.5 millimeter up to 2 millimeters. And you get like 25 bits in the kit. So I think it was $5. That's what I used to drill this hole. The smaller the hole, the better, because more pressure it's going to push down this tube. We're going to take our 1-inch T, and we drilled that 3/4 inch hole. That is to pull that puppy up on out of there. Okay. And then this is what this little copper doohickey is for. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll make sure it's nice and centered in there. We want to keep it nice and even. Alright, and then we'll just screw this down good and tight. Now, this is for those of you out there like me who don't have a welder. If you have a welder, I recommend, very highly recommend, that you weld this joint together. Okay, you would just put a bead of weld across the top there. Okay, one other thing I forgot to point out while I had it out. Between the nipple and that coupler, you want to make sure you put a good wrapping of Teflon tape. That'll keep everything nice and tightly sealed, so you're not losing a bunch of gas and have a leak, because the last thing you want is a propane leak right near your forge. Alright, so now we've got our burner finished. Okay, so this is basically the burner. Gas comes out here. We have to direct it into the forge somehow. We also need to allow it to have plenty of time to mix with air so we get a nice good burn. That's where this comes into play. Oh, right. I've got my 3/4 to 1-inch adapter here. Alright, so we'll hand tighten that puppy down right there. This is why you want to weld this on there, and I will eventually get it welded on there. For right now, so for testing purposes. Alright, so we'll hand tighten that. Now I'm going to take the Big Daddy here and give it just a little bit of extra mustard, just because we can, right? Alright, now this is our assembled burner. Okay, this is the business end of what's going to get our metal hot. We need propane to go into it. So what we'll do is, this has been pre-assembled ahead of time, but it's pretty straightforward. Okay, you don't need this 3/8 inch adapter or coupler and the 3/8 inch 1-inch nipple. You can just take the quick connect straight on here, or however it is you're connecting the gas to here. I've got it a foot away and a foot down, because as you can see, that's going to put it quite a distance away from the forge, because I've got a rubber hose on this quick connect, so that'll keep a lot of the heat away from that. So what we're going to do, we take our Teflon tape, give a few good reps. Last thing we want, any of our precious propane leaking out. Alright, got it wrapped up. Alright, get it in there. Doesn't need to be cranked down super tight. Hand tightened is good enough. Alright. There we go. Alright, so that is what we're looking like. Alright, so this is what the fully assembled burner looks like for me. You guys will meet me down in the forge here in just a few minutes. I'm going to have it attached to the forge, and we'll go ahead and light it up and see how it burns. Alright, as you can see, this is a lot quieter. Oh my golly, is this a lot quieter. And it is also very hot. Look at that. It's almost yellow. It didn't do that before. To give you an example of just how quiet it is compared to what it was, take a look at this. See what I mean? Alright, so it's going to wrap it up for this one right now. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, that helps bump us up so other people can enjoy this too. Alright, like us on Facebook, catch us on Instagram, we're on Twitter. We're hoping to have the webpage live here in a couple of weeks. Please, we need your support. Tell your friends, tell your family, even tell your mom, I don't care.